Good afternoon. This is Jason with your Tuesday Drive. I want to talk to you today about walking in someone else's shoes and lessons that I learned this week. Had a situation with a young girl in 7th grade and learned several things and reminded me of several things that I wanted to share today. As we begin the school year, common question that we ask students, children, relatives, are you ready to go back to school? And I would say probably the vast majority of answers are something to the negative, that they're not ready or not ready for summer to end, or maybe a moan or a groan. That's pretty typical adolescent behavior. We also have a group of students who are fearful and afraid to come back to school. We need to remember those students. This past week, doing a professional learning with some teachers in parapros, we were reminded that there are students that coming into the school year are contemplating serious actions, dropping out of school, committing suicide, because the environment that they're in and the peer pressure that they're in is so overwhelming. We take a look at statistics. Our adolescents, suicide is the number 3 cause of death among our teenagers. Number 1 is accidents. So it's a problem. Reminded of this because we had a situation this week where we got called out to a school for a precious little 7th grade girl, and she had been talking about ending her life, and her mother was concerned. When we got to talking to her, we found out a couple of things. One, it was a result of a little boy who was maybe making fun of her, maybe teasing her, but she took it to heart, and it really affected her. Talking to her mom, she said that this little girl was sexually assaulted at the age of 3 by a 9-year-old. So this fear of men and males, and especially little boys maybe who are making fun of her or saying ugly things to her, became very real to her. When we're talking about specifically why the comments, here's what she told us: that she just never has space to herself. So we asked her to kind of elaborate on that. She's living with mom. Dad is not in the picture. An uncle and his girlfriend and their children are living in the house with them. And because of a hole in the roof and a leaking roof, her bedroom is closed off because it's not healthy or safe to sleep in. So she's sharing a room with mom. She says, I never have any time by myself. Having 2 teenage girls and myself, I totally understand this. I get frustrated with them because they spend so much time closed up in their room behind closed doors. We got to remember that that's adolescence, and that's what they need. And unfortunately, this sweet little girl is not getting that. And so she's having these very negative thoughts. So I'm just reminded that when kids come to us and they're acting out or misbehaving, we need to imagine walking a mile in their shoes. This little girl absolutely causes no problems whatsoever, is a great student, and seems to be very well liked by her teachers, the counselor, her peers. She had several really close friends she told us about. But imagine the kids that are acting out. Imagine the kids that are chronically seeking your attention, whether it's negative or not. So we got to think about that. Andrew Herschel says that we are not all guilty, but we are all responsible. And that's been the kind of quote that is driving me this year. that we can no longer turn a blind eye to these kids and just chalk them up as being a problem kid or a bad kid. There's something going on there. There's something that we can learn about them. This little girl met us for the first time, and she immediately opened up, and I think it felt good for her to tell somebody what she was feeling. And I think students want that. They want to have an opportunity to tell someone that'll listen. Maybe they're not getting that at home. Maybe they've never had that. Maybe you're the only person that's going to be able to offer that to them. We can also walk a mile in their shoes by getting out, and when our students come to us, find out where they are coming from. Where are they living? Get out and visit the community and the neighborhood and see where they're coming from. I think that'll tell us a lot about the circumstances that they're bringing to school with them every day. Anyway, that was on my heart this week, so I wanted to share it. Hopefully it's something that you can use this upcoming week, and I wish you the best as school gets started, and I hope that you have a great year. We'll see you next Tuesday.